didn't I fucking call this? I fucking called this. Hi guys, Flatmeister here. So, when was it? I'm trying to remember. It was a few days ago, possibly Monday, possibly Saturday, Sunday. I think it was. I'm not sure. But one angry gamer tweeted a link out to their article, which was about Total War, Rome Total War, the real-time strategy game that's historically accurate. More on that later. I think this one, Total War Rome 2, so it's a sequel. It was released in 2013. So they've been So Creative Assembly, the developers, they've been supporting this game for quite some time. And God, I really like Creative Assembly as well because they made Alien Isolation, and that was a really cool game. So if you're a fan of historically accurate real-time strategy games, you want to be a general in your empire and over your armies, or all of your units, your chariots and your soldiers and people on the front line, your archers. You want to be able to control something that's in a historically accurate simulation. Yeah. This happened with Battlefield 5. Look how that's gone, right? So anyway, One Angry Gamer, they released they tweeted out an article, or a link to their article, that said about Total War Rome 2 was gamers were noticing that a new update had changed a load of their generals into female generals. As far as I know, the Roman Empire, women weren't allowed in the military. They just simply in the Roman Empire and civilization, women were nothing to do with war and planning out battlefields and such. They weren't involved, and this pissed a lot of people off, that they were noticing that a lot of their generals were turning into women and women of colour, and they're like, oh, is this an attempt? And it was happening more and more often. Like the drop rate, so to speak, was that suddenly pretty much most of their generals were turning into women. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind female characters, and this is the thing that Kotaku and Polygon and Waypoint and all those fucking SJW game journalist outlets keep repeating this same lie. Oh, they don't like women in video games. No, I don't mind female characters. I don't mind playable female characters. That's why Lara Croft was a great character. The franchise is so big is because people enjoyed her character. Some people maybe not so much on the new Origin trilogy, but people don't mind female characters. They need to stop repeating this lie. And so, and I called this when this article came out. I said, I fucking called this, because do you remember back in my Angry Joe the Quartering Battlefield 5 video that I did about a month ago? And Joe was like, that was when he was saying about Battlefield 5, and people were pissed off that there was a British women in the British army on the front line with the cyborg prosthetic arm, and they're like, this isn't historically accurate. And he ridiculed and just labelled them as man babies and misogynists and sexists, all the ists and phobics that you could throw at them. Try to compare them to, that they're all Trump supporters that are attacking Joe and making all these claims that that they're hating on Battlefield. So anyway, in that video, and I called that in my video, I said, Total War is one of your favourite franchises, Joe. I said, and if they were to do something like this, like include women, I fucking called it. I can't believe it, right? It's so great to be right. And I said, Joe, this is one of your favourite franchises. You'd be pissed off if that happened in Total War. And lo and fucking behold, they did this, and I just couldn't believe it, right? I tweeted it out, I tagged a load of people in. I even tagged in Angry Joe and the Quartering. I tagged them in, and I said, look, they fucking did it. So anyway, on this Kotaku article, now Kotaku are complaining. Oh yeah, because the game developers, in response to people having valid criticisms and genuine grievances and constructive criticism and feedback about this, game developers, they took a note out of EA and Patrick Sutherland's book, which was, if you don't like it, don't buy it, or if you don't like it, don't play it. Oh yeah, they're saying that to people that bought the game, people that have already paid hard-earned cash for your game, Creative Assembly, for Total War Rome 2, only to be told, yeah, fuck off, we've got your cash, we've got your money, you can leave now. Oh, thanks. They took a note out of EA's book, and they did that. And so people are like, okay, I'm uninstalling and deleting the game. And now Kotaku are complaining, and Nathan Grayson complaining that over the past 24 hours, Total War Rome 2 has picked up over 350 new negative reviews. He's triggering Steam's graph-based review bomb alert system. The reason? A controversy surrounding women generals that appears to be largely contrived. Oh yeah, that's another thing, right? The game developer said, oh, if you don't like it, just mod it. And someone's created this, it's called the Patriarchy mod. And it's a mod that basically decreases the chance of a female general, because there's like other systems in the game in which, like, through marriage and marrying families together, that can apparently create more female generals or something, by marrying with different tribes, things like that. But yeah, this it's called the Patriarchy mod, and before you boot up the mod and boot up the game, you're greeted with this cartoon animation of Professor Jordan Peterson. It does sound quite like him, and he sounds a little bit like Kermit the Frog, but it's quite funny. I'll leave a link in the description of the animation, because it is really funny. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, this mod, you can download it and it decreases the drop rate of female generals, which is fine. But I can't believe that the game developers. Why did you implement this in a new patch to increase the drop rate of female generals, or even have female generals being dropped? And right, this is the thing, right? With Steam, with the review bomb, right? This is the only way gamers and consumers can air their grievances when they're not listened to. When developers just go jog on, when you've paid hard-earned cash for their game, for their product, they've paid for a product, right? And if developers are just going like that, well, then that's the only way that a gamer can make their voice be heard, is through making YouTube videos, criticising, writing articles and blogs, and voting with their wallets, and leaving reviews. Like, I don't necessarily agree with, like, mass, let's negatively review them as bad as possible. And like, the developers even banned people on, like, Steam forums and stuff, right? Now let's see how Kotaku spins this, right? They go about, he goes, downplays it. A handful of forum posts and reviews in which players claimed a recent update increased the frequency of drops of female generals. One went as far as to insist that over 50% of their generals were women and offered a screenshot as proof. And there is a screenshot. It's literally I mean, yeah, the community. It always comes down to these community content editors, these community managers. Ella McConnell. She's saying probability of getting a women general comes down to luck of the draw. I'm like, well, it's a pretty high probability if someone's getting 50%. And that if these people weren't okay with that, there are mods they can use to remove women entirely, or they can just play something else. So Kotaku, aren't you going to call up call them up on their BS, this game developer, and say you can't talk to your consumers like that? Oh no, because Nathan Grayson, of course, and Kotaku, they're all in the pockets of these game developers, these studios. And here, with them doubling down, these game devs, and trying to change words, this doesn't make sense, right? So she wrote back in August. Oh, so it must have been late August. Total War games are historically authentic, not historically accurate. Surely that's the same, right? Authentic, accurate. Authentic means make it feel as though it's as accurate as possible, as real, and it's the same, isn't it? Authentic, historically accurate. It means the same, doesn't it? Being historically authentic means you are staying true to what was historic, what was historically documented. That was the word I'm looking for there. If having female units upsets you that much, you can either mod them out or just not play. Like, how do you say that? People saying they won't buy the game because there are far too many women, it is fine with us. If that's their reason, we'd rather they didn't anyway. Like, Creative Assembly are good developers. I've sort of rarely play RTS games, but I don't mind. Oh, I prefer something like the Shogun series was good. And then again, that's EA, isn't it? That was an EA owned franchise. But here, like players saying they won't buy the game because there are too many women, it's fine with us. If that's their reason, we'd rather they didn't anyway. Wow, so you're like basically giving your middle finger to people that would have paid for your game, if not. In subsequent responses to similar threads, she clarified that other elements of the Total War games are also not 100% historically accurate, and that she's not trying to push an agenda, but rather conveying how Creative Assembly feels about its own game series. I'm not HR, nor is it my job to push a personal agenda. Yeah, historical authenticity, historical accuracy, and the inclusion of women originates. Like, that means the same. Historical authenticity, historical accuracy. It's the same fucking word, isn't it? Oh, and then Kotaku is linking to a load of YouTubers over the weekend when the discussion got picked up by people like YouTuber Arch Warhammer, who made a video entitled "Creative Assembly Don't Want You to Play Their Games." And obviously, like, Kotaku, Nathan Grayson, you are directing harassment and hatred towards this YouTuber. You could use that same thing, you can use that same language and jargon at them, at these SJWs. It's funny. I wouldn't mind if they go, oh, YouTuber Flatmeister made a video saying blah blah blah. I'd be fine with you directed traffic to my channel, but it's funny if it was the other way around and they go, oh, this YouTuber is under attack by anti-SJWs. I'm like, no, people are just leaving comments in the video and tweeting. But you know that I wonder if this Arch Warhammer guy has received a load of harassment and hate from SJWs. And others outside the Total War Rome 2 community, like Gamergate friendly blog One Angry Gamer And eventually, neo-Nazis cite the Daily Stormer. You see what Nathan Grayson's trying to do there with the narrative there, trying to pile us all in together. It's funny you say Gamergate friendly blog. One Angry Gamer. One Angry Gamer is one of the most transparent news outlets for games and sort of geek fandom and stuff. Billy D does a fantastic job of scrolling through the internet, trying to find out stories, positive and negative. He covers all aspects of nerd fandom and internet culture and gaming culture. Oh yeah, he has I think Sophia Narwitz as well. She writes, she's a freelancer. She writes articles on there as well. But yeah, it's kind of funny that One Angry Gamer, one of the most, and Billy D, one of the most transparent and honest game journalists, or he's an indie game journalist, is the most transparent and honest, and yet Nathan Grayson, one of the most corrupt game journalists, one of the main people that created the whole Gamergate mess in the first place, was because of your corrupt ass, Nathan Grayson. Sure, One Angry Game, Billy D's kind of he's open to discussion though. If you disagree, and he'll won't ban you in the comment section. People complain about when they leave a comment on articles that discuss the normal, was it like the chat moderation or system or something that's used on a lot of sites for comment sections, that people complain that my comment was deleted by Discuss, and Billy D will always get on the case. He'll tell Discuss, yep, let that comment through, that's fine. He doesn't censor any debate or discussion. He even does weekly articles of the discussion week, any subject you want to come up with. So I just find it really funny that Nathan Grayson is trying to throw shade at One Angry Gamer when One Angry Gamer is, like I said, the most. He makes disclaimers. He discloses things. He says I'm not sure if there's a conflict of interest, he'll step back and let someone, like another guest freelance writer, write an article or interview or whichever. I can't fucking believe, and they try and of course try and put us in there with the Daily Stormer, try and call us neo-Nazis. It's just the same with Vox Day when he tried to. I'm still learning more about Comicsgate and stuff, but it's quite funny sort of. Yeah, Vox Day trying to co-opt Comicsgate, and we're like, nope, we don't want any of your shit. You're still identity politics. Anyway, I'm getting off track really. But the crux of the first two arguments was similar. Creative Assembly patched its game to the point of what they perceived to be historically inaccurate oblivion, and then a community manager had the gall to tell them to play something else if they didn't love it. The third site predictably just said a bunch of Nazi stuff. Okay, well that's the Daily Stormer. Nothing to do with them. And Nathan Grayson, this just shows like he's got complete contempt for consumers and his own readership, for his own audience. Since then, negative Steam reviews have poured in like so many tiny toy soldiers. Oh, of course, the consumer are airing grievances and genuine criticisms about a product that they've brought. Ugh, their voices don't matter. They're just whiny little man babies, little cry babies. Ruined a totally fine game by bringing modern politics into a BC era game, reads one review. It's been upvoted 196 times. I'm fine with women, but I'm not fine with political changes in a historically based game. Not even a new one at that. Leave politics in real life, not my games. The overall disdain they have for their base tells it all. 0 out of 10. Would not check my privilege again, reads another. I love Steam reviews. That people are really creative. Again, oh, you're bringing up Jessica Price and Peter Fry's being fired. A pile-on that recently saw systems designer Daniel Klein leaving Riot Games. Exactly. They all attacked the consumers. But Nathan Grayson's trying to spin this in that, oh, look at all these like elsewhere on the Steam forum, people are calling for Ella McConnell's firing, even though she said she's just relaying a message from on high. Like, yeah, she's just the PR person, the PR employee. And then, yeah, Nathan Grayson saying about the vocal contingent of Guild Wars 2 community, the narrative designer, Riot Games with League of Legends, at the PAX panel that focused on women and non-binary, and that men weren't allowed to come to this panel about game development. And here again, Nathan Grayson attacking the consumer, saying that game developers didn't spoon feed a handful of players exactly what they wanted to hear, and now that their precious Fabergé skin has been cracked, they want blood. No, people don't want blood. People don't like being attacked when they have genuine criticism. I'm not going to read the entire article, but it seems pretty much that bit in a mod you can like change it to like 0 to even like a 0.1 or 0.2% chance of a female As of publishing this article, Creative Assembly has yet to respond to an inquiry for comment on the situation, nor has it spoken about it publicly on social media. For now, Rome 2 players continue to rage. Let's see how the articles. People are bringing up these other, because there's other factions like Carthage and which had more women in their militia than the Roman Empire. It's a biased article. People, no, that's not what they're complaining about, and you know it. Even reading the biased article makes it clear that this is not now what the complaints are about. And they even released this room on presumably on their website, Rome 2, regards to the current debate about Rome 2. There have been no changes to recruitable female general spawn rates, but with the addition of the family tree feature, which I said just earlier, the gameplay options it brings, playable factions may gain more female family members via marriage. If a player has their male family members seek a wife and get married, more females enter the family. This means more female characters may appear as recruitable generals. Female characters appear throughout the game but have between a 10 to 15% chance of appearing as recruitable generals for some of the playable factions. The exceptions are the Greek, States, Rome, Carthage, and some Eastern factions, which have a 0% chance, and Kush, which has a 50% chance. This is to broadly represent the cultural differences in those factions during the time the game is set. These percentage chances are moddable by players. We've not seen a verifiable bug where this is shown to be different or not working as intended. We have no plans to patch this out or remove this feature from the game. Like, some people just dismiss genuine criticism. Getting sick of these people whining about women in games. Get a life. Like I said, I've got no problem with female characters in games. If they're historical games, the games have to reflect history, what actually happened. You know, just throw Nazi at us, alt-right, troll. Loving that developers are starting to take a stand against this sort of behaviour. Like I said, I got no problem with sorry. Restart. I don't think people should be going out and attacking, swearing and harassing and threatening developers. It's not helpful to the conversation. If you politely leave comments or in posts, comment sections, and say, look, I'm a consumer, I'm a customer of your product, and then if they go, oh fuck you man, don't buy it, and if kill them with kindness, take the higher ground, and surely you can say is there a way of going to Steam and saying I'm being attacked by the developer for being very cordial and polite and airing my grievances. Someone again calling out the Jessica Price thing. My only issue with this is how Kotaku are still trying to treat Jessica Price as a victim in their little throwaway comment about Guild Wars 2 debacle. Kotaku are just pouring gasoline on a bonfire. But yeah, that's that. The war on women. As you can hear, my throat's sore. Got a bit of a cold coming. You can tell when winter's coming, when you have to start putting socks on when you're around the house because the air gets a bit cold. But yeah, I want to apologise for having not uploaded anything in a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't done anything. So also the Flat Pack show is tomorrow at 11 PM GMT with Switchpoint, Crumplepoint and Nerd Waffle. We'll be talking about diversity and inclusion in creative things. So yeah, check that out. So yeah, like I said, do all that share, liking, subscribing, ticking the bell, the ding dong, jumping through all the hoops YouTube makes you do to get my content. So yeah, I'm Flatmeister. I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.